Let's look at what you need to do for retirement income planning. Income planning is the heart of retirement planning because income is what makes everything else possible. It is the wind in the sail of retirement. Once again, I'm going to say primary purpose of income planning is to make sure that you maintain the same lifestyle and keep you in your same world as you experienced in your working years. To start your planning, you'll need to spend time with a year's worth of checkbook entries and credit card statements to understand what your needs are. The facts are located in your checkbook and credit card statements. Use a spreadsheet to compile the necessary facts so that you will be thorough, something like this. Also, in your needs planning, be sure to forecast future major ongoing expenses like automobiles and home maintenance. You should also consider technical obsolescence and budget for it, for necessities like phones, computers, TVs, and other technology that evolves over time and becomes obsolete. You certainly will want to get all the new stuff. You want a reasonable cash cushion for emergencies and unforeseen expenses. Now, traditional financial planning calls for 3 to 6 months of income in an account like that. And it's a great idea. In fact, it's an excellent time to be realistic about the support that you're providing for your adult children at this point in time and begin to take steps to eliminate it if possible. Okay, so your basic expenses cover your needs and they cover the lifestyle that you had during your working years. So you certainly have to have those covered. But most of us also have recreational and travel wants in retirement. These require cash flow that you likely haven't experienced. Let me ask you, when do we normally spend more money? The weekend, right? Well, every day in retirement is like the weekend. You'll want to estimate your recreation and travel costs and forecast them based on what I refer to as a retirement activity timeline. The years following retirement are considered go-go years because you're at your best health and your peak activity. Next, following that are the slow-go years, where you'll tend to reduce the pace and stay closer to home. The final phase are the no-go years because health and energy just naturally require us to become more sedentary. Financial timelines are a great way to forecast your personal financial future in retirement. Now that you know how much you'll need to fund both needs and wants annually over your activity timeline, the next step is to study your guaranteed income sources to determine how best they will meet your needs. Certain assets are tailor-made for income, like Social Security, pensions, rental properties, annuities, and life insurance dividends. Examine each one closely to determine how best to maximize it. Some things to consider in your study are reliability, tax policy, inflation, and ease of management. Now, knowing what your guaranteed income sources will provide and having them structured to provide in the best ways that they can, you're now going to want to calculate the gap between what those guaranteed income sources provide and what your total annual need is. Okay? Then you total all of the expenses of the gap over your lifetime, over your lifespan, if you will, your projected lifespan, and then you use time value of money calculations to figure out the lump sum necessary, that big number in year one that you'll need to fill the gap annually over your life expectancy. What's that big number that you'll need at the onset to see you through? Don't forget to account for inflation. It's a big factor. The purpose of this process is simply to make sure that you've accumulated enough to likely see you through. Now, you'll need income planning software to help with the inflation and the time value of money calculations. There's a lot of it available on the web. However, a financial planner will do the math and also help you to be in reality about where you stand financially to make sure you cover all the bases. And lastly, you'll need a process and a strategy for utilizing and spending down the retirement assets that you accumulated to fill the gap. I'm going to discuss asset spend down strategies in our next segment on managing retirement assets. I want to discuss the importance of guaranteed income in retirement. Experts recommend the importance of having 50 to 60% of guaranteed income from sources like pensions and Social Security. If you don't have a pension, you'll likely need to create one. Today, many people use an annuity. It's important when you develop your income plan that you develop this base of guaranteed income because it's not tied to the performance of the stock market, interest rates, or the loss of any type of an asset. The guaranteed stable income allows you to sleep at night and avoid rash decisions. And frankly, it takes pressure off of your portfolio to always perform perfectly. I call the guaranteed income mailbox income because like the mail, it just comes consistently. When it comes to retirement income, sleeping at night, stability, and peace of mind are the name of the game. Okay, so we've examined a lot involved in getting retirement income right. Earlier, I mentioned volatility and the importance of being in reality about your planning. And so it may be that at this point in your planning, once you've crunched the numbers and done the calculation, you decide that it's going to be necessary for you to reestablish your retirement date, push it down the road a little bit, because you honestly aren't sure that your assets will outlive you. It's far better to make the smart decision to stay on the job another year or two to provide the security to see you through. According to Stanford University, staying on the job can have a significant impact. Working just 6 additional months provides the same financial boost as saving an additional 1% annually for 30 years. Going back to work at age 80 is almost impossible. And the only thing worse than not living long enough is outliving your money. Now, may these forces not be with you. By now, y'all see I'm kind of a movie buff. Y'all remember those words were from Darth Vader? May the force be with you. Well, here are some forces to reckon with that may impact your income in retirement. Market volatility, interest rate risk, inflation risk, technological obsolescence, tax policy, healthcare costs, and demands from family members. John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, is quoted as saying that time is your friend and impulse is your enemy. Time is your friend, impulse is your enemy. Experience has taught me that the more time and consideration you put into your income plan, the more it will take care of you. Is your income plan for retirement one that makes sense and one that you feel good about? If you need help with it, I'm here to guide you in getting it right.